Nerub'ar Palace Wing 1 of LFR is available right now in the game, my friends, and here I am to help you out with a quick boss guide. I'll tell you how to beat the hardest boss of this Wing 1, which is called the Bloodbound Horror. So if you are just going to do what I've done here in this first example of simply charging in, not listening to any explanations, or even just being impatient and listening to trolls who say, just ruffle stomp this boss, things will go very much south for you. So I suggest that you give this video a quick like so that I know that I'm doing something right and you appreciate my efforts explaining things to you, and I will very easily explain to you how to avoid disaster. Alright, the Bloodbound Horror basically is a rather simple boss as long as you know what to do. It requires some coordination, and it absolutely, without a doubt, requires some explanation to your raid group. First advice is, don't be one of those hopeful idiots who is just assuming that people know what to do. Don't be also one of those smart asses who says, who doesn't know how the boss works? No one is gonna speak up because they're all kids. So just prepare some macros or prepare to type. You could just prepare a macro that's going to, on a press of a button, dump some text into the chat. It's the most simple macro. I can even put one for you as an example into the description of this video. Give me a quick like if you haven't already. So that explanation is the first thing for you, mate. It's not enough for you to know what to do. It's important that you prepare some macros or type very fast and do what I did and explain to people what's about to happen with Bloodbound Horror. First things first, you note the number of your group. So I am in this particular case in group number 2. It means that my groups are even. 2, 4, 6, whatever. So you tell everyone to separate the 2 tanks with even amount of healers hopefully and DPS into the odd groups and even groups. You've done this before for Razageth, for other kind of things. If you have done raiding in the past, tell them to separate into 2 groups. Your group of even groups with me stays with me. Tell them to stay on you all the time. When you move, they stay on you. The opposite tank, preferably, you can stand like this to each other, but I prefer for you to stand on the opposite sides of the boss. It's much easier to coordinate. So the odd groups are with that tank, the even groups are on me. The boss will be taunted by one of you at first, depends whoever starts, doesn't matter. Whoever has taunted the boss will be breathed on. At some point he breathes on all of you with some muggy stuff, whatever. At that point in time, when he breathes on you, you will see this shadowy kind of ghostly ads spawn. At that point in time, when your group is with that debuff, you can kill those ads. You kill the ads very quickly, while the other group, the one that has not been breathed on, taunts the boss away from you and entertains the boss in the real, not shadowy world. That's it. The debuff wears off and you swap. That's it. It's as simple as that, mate. But it takes a lot of coordination and very importantly to point out to your group preemptively that they have to follow you around, because as you can see right now shown on the screen, as you can see, these lost watchers, manifested horrors, these ads, they don't spawn exactly on you. They could be spawned a little bit to the left and to the right, which is why I said to you that tanks being on the literally opposite sides of the boss is much easier, because the ads could spawn here and there. Simply that kind of separation will prevent you overlapping too much, will prevent confusion between your raid members running everywhere. Don't forget that this is LFR. It's not normals, it's not heroics, it's not coordinated guild stuff. People will be confused, especially while the bosses are new. We are not over-gearing content yet very much so, and it means that we simply cannot bypass this mechanic too much and kind of ignore it. You just saw also this bluish big AoE. At some point the boss does that AoE. Listen, you probably need to call it out to people that they need to run out, but if you have to call it out, we really are testing the lowest bottom levels of intelligence here, but LFR, I suppose, is not an uncommon ground for that kind of test. So that's it. Make sure, again, do not skip on explanations. Take it upon yourself, be the hero, okay? Avoid tentacles popping up, obviously, yeah? Avoid them, alright? they will hurt, alright? Make sure that the groups are, make sure that the tanks are marked also. Don't assume that people will follow you because you are so pretty and your armor is so shiny. make sure that the other tank is a human being who is actually communicating or actually understands what's going on. I haven't even spoken to my tank in this, to my co-tank in this example, but he did what was necessary. He has clearly deadly boss mods or some other add-on, which I always recommend for LFR. I haven't started this video with it because for me it's a curse of knowledge. I always do it, but I suppose better late than never. Install Deadly Boss add-on, Deadly Boss mods add-on, DBM, from CurseForge if you haven't already. If you're planning to tank anything in the War Within or anywhere else in World of Warcraft, mate, this is one add-on you need, okay? Deadly Boss mods. That will tell you, if nothing else, it will tell you when to taunt. Because the add-on will track debuffs and all that kind of stuff. I don't even know every single debuff I need to keep track of, simply because Deadly Boss mods add-on is like, you know, is absolutely mandatory. So I hope this makes sense to you. If it did, honestly, it would save you wipes, I guarantee. Even if you have to prepare some macros to quickly tick, tick, tick. These are your explanations, people, for this boss. Very easy. I sometimes type, sometimes I create these kind of macros. The more alts I'm going to be taking through this dungeon, through the LFR, and killing this boss, the more there is a need for a macro, I suppose, rather than typing it every single time. I think I'm going to do it, and for your benefit as well. So do give me a quick like. Enjoy the boss. I actually like the challenge of it. I like that it's not Ruffle Stomp. I like that it's a little bit of effort. It makes you... It's a fun boss. It's a fun boss when done right, and as I explained to you already, the mechanic is very simple. So once again, before you leave, I would love a quick like and come back, because I'll be talking to you about every boss, in every dungeon, everything in the War Within, because that's ultimately what I do on all of my alts. Go enjoy the sunshine somewhere else, and I'll see you in the World of Warcraft very soon. Bye for now.